Alright, so in this video, we are going to tackle learning target 4-2, which is creating ionic compounds. And we have all three of our learning targets broken down here. So we've already talked about this, but just to review, we've got something that is called a cation and an anion. The cation is positively charged ion that has lost electrons. So it's become positive because it's lost that negative charge of the electron. And the anion is the exact opposite. It's negatively charged ion because it has gained extra electrons, extra negative charge. Ionic bonds are what happens when a cation transfers electrons to an anion. So where are those electrons going that the cations have lost? They're going to the anions, and that forms a bond. These usually are between a metal and a nonmetal. If we remember, covalent was between two nonmetals. Ionic is going to happen between a metal and a nonmetal. So our first step to forming an ionic bond, we are going to use an example of magnesium and chlorine. So our first step is to turn them both into ions, so to give them a full shell. Magnesium, as you can see here, we have gotten rid of these two electrons to make it a magnesium +2. And chlorine, we've added one here to make it a chlorine -1. So we've written out our ions here. Then we have to balance out the charges. And we got to remember that the cation, that positive charge, always gets written first in our formula. So we've got a magnesium +2, and we've got a chlorine -1. So this charge is going to be bigger. That +2 is bigger than my -1 because it's 2 versus 1. So I'm going to need to add more negative charge so that I can cancel out my bigger positive charge. How that's going to look is just like this. We're making it look just like an addition or a subtraction problem so that we can write our element symbols down here and we can just carry our charges down. We have a +2 and we have a -2. Those are going to cancel out. And here we're going to have a balanced out bond. So here I have my complete formula. This is my ionic bonded molecule. The reason that I have a 2 subscript here is not the indication of the charge of the chlorine, but it's the indication of the amount. Because I've got 2 chlorines to balance out my 1 magnesium, and we don't write 1s as subscripts. We don't write the 1s. They're invisible. Now we're going to be talking about transition metals. And transition metals do not have set charges. We learned that we can easily label most of our families or groups based on the column that they're in. But our transition metals do not have a set charge. For example, chromium, which is Cr, can form either a +2 or a +3 ion depending on what it's bound to. So we can go ahead and practice when we have a chromium +2 and a chlorine ion. So first I have to write out my ions. I've got my chromium +2 and I've got my chlorine 1-. Then we're going to set it up like an addition problem to balance our charges, which I have done right here. I've got my 1 chromium and I've got my 2 chlorines to balance out that charge. So I've got a +2 charge for my chromium, and with my 2 -1 charges, I have a -2 charge for my chlorines, and that is completely balanced. And I have to remember that when I write it, my 2 has to be in subscript so I know how many of each thing I have. Now go ahead in your notes and try and figure out the formula with a compound formed between chromium +3 and chlorine again. This is going to be our formula. So it's the same exact idea as the other problem we just did, but this time we need 3 chlorine charges, 3 -1 charges to balance out our chromium +3 charge. Okay, so that's why now we have a 3 here instead of a 2. All right, now go ahead. I've got this one practice problem for you, and then we're all done. So go ahead and write in your notes the formula between phosphate and magnesium. Make sure to write out all your work. So first, I've got to write out my ions. Okay, so I've got magnesium, which I know is a +2. Magnesium's +2. And I have phosphate. Okay, phosphate is actually a polyatomic ion. Okay, if it was phosphorus, then I would do P -3, but it's not. It's phosphate, which is a polyatomic. So then I can set them up like an addition problem and try to balance out those charges. And this is what I've come up with. So I need 3 magnesiums, 3 +2s to get me to a +6 charge, and I need 2 phosphates to get me to a -6 charge to cancel out. And I've written my magnesium, the amount of the magnesiums I have, 1, 2, 3. My phosphate, which I've kept in parentheses because it's an polyatomic. Then I also have my amount of phosphate. I have 1, 2 phosphates. So my complete equation is Mg3PO4 2. At this point, if you have any questions, please write them down so we can address them in class on Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend.